so I can step to the side.
Is it ever literally dangerous?
This is the Kosciuszko Bridge, or the Kosciuszko Bridge, as a real New Yorker would call it. And this is a new pathway that just opened a couple weeks ago. And so I already walked the neighborhood around here, but I had to come back to walk this new path now that it's open. That was a little awkward.
Pedestrian space in the city, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't really know why I'm doing this. I think a lot of times we kind of put too much pressure on ourselves to come up with a nice, easily explainable reason for what we want to do in life. And I suspect there are a lot of people who have really cool things they want to do and they never do them because they don't have a good reason for it. And so I don't know, after spending a lot of my life just doing things that were easy to explain to people, I decided to try this thing that's hard to explain, that I don't really have an explanation for, and just see how it goes. So yeah, so I did that walk in 2010. I did my walk across America, came back. I just realized that was the happiest I'd ever been in my life, and also I spent almost no money doing it. I would knock on people's doors, asking if I could camp in their yard, and like the costs were so low, and it just really changed the calculations. I realized if I don't live a normal life and have to pay rent and have all those kind of expenses, which didn't seem to be making me any happier, that I could have a chance to do something a lot different with my life. It took about a year and a half after I finished that walk before I started this one in New York. I had heard of people walking every block of Manhattan, which was just this fascinating idea to me. Like, to take this place, you know, like New York City, like Manhattan, that's so about make sure you see the best of this and the best of this. What's the best? What's the top thing? And to just say, forget that, I'm just going to go look at everything. I'm going to make everything equal and just go look at all of it. Something about that really stuck in my head, and I started to wonder, could I do that idea, but do it for all 5 boroughs? Hey, I'm just here because I'm curious about what your life's like. I think it's a good thing. And the way I finally figured out how to make it work financially was to just not have an apartment and not pay rent. And so for, you know, over the 7.5 years I've been doing this, I've just been in New York City, but you know, sleeping on couches, watching people's cats when they're out of town, you know, watering people's plants when they're gone, and just a whole kind of array of ways to find places to live for free. This idea that, you know, so much of life is boring and we're just trying to get through it, get through this and get through that so we can get to the few fun things we have to do in life, I think is just a matter of having a bad outlook. Because the nature of this walk, of treating every block the same and therefore not having any particular destinations, I know I'll get to everywhere eventually, so I'm never really looking forward to any particular part, really just keeps me where I am, and it just makes me focus on what's right around me. And when I do that, what I realize is the only reason that people are bored is because they're not focusing on what's around them. It's not a lack of interesting things in the world, it's just a lack of paying attention.
out from the Rockaways yesterday morning, just 24 hours there. Here's the way. And